What if the only thing standing between you and your next chapter isn't the lack of guidance, but the conversation you've been having with yourself? This week's oracle cards all pointed to the same thing as in most of the oracle cards that I pull. And the central message is the strongest. And if you are new here, I use oracle cards to guide me with EFT tapping. And I take a central message based on all of the oracle decks that I pull. And most of them are 7 to 8 different decks. So the message was you already have the inner strength, guidance, and support to move forward and towards the life you're creating. But maybe you've been waiting for fear to completely disappear before taking your next step. Or maybe you've been convinced, or you've convinced yourself that after it all comes together, after you've accomplished said thing, that it will be enough. And after you've figured everything out, then you'll be able to relax, receive. Yet, what if this week's not asking you to wait? Maybe it's inviting us to really trust yourself or ourselves to take one aligned step and then allow joy to become a part of the journey, not the reward or something you're waiting to experience after all the accomplishments have been completed or after the destination has been reached. I think a lot of us have felt that way. Like, I'll enjoy life when, which is what the whole conditioning is about retirement, right? Like, you can't enjoy life until you're done working 65 years for a corporate job. Then you can enjoy your life finally. Yeah, that's not the way life is meant to be lived. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome if you're new here. This is your July 15th through 22nd weekly energy report and EFT tap along recalibration. It's funny because right now, in one of the spiritual containers that I'm in, it's about living life alive as fuck. Like, that's literally what life is for, is how much joy, how much fun, how much can you be excited to live every single day you're here. And if you're new here, I'm Sylvia, an EFT practitioner and quantum alchemist. And if you don't know what EFT stands for, as I discussed, this is an EFT tap along. My crown keeps fading into the background. I got a purple one on today. Got a purple shirt on. So if you're new here, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. EFT is a combined using of meridians in the body and acupressure points. So all you have to do is follow along. You can be new to EFT, completely fine. What this does is it helps us shift our subconscious thought patterns and calm and chill the nervous system. And that's the name of the game right now, right? Like, is to expand, but also allow your nervous system to feel safe expanding. Because for the longest time, we've run on fight, flight, freeze, which is what the nervous system has been trying to do, is keep us safe, right? Like, our mental mind and nervous system has been trying to keep us safe. When the body is stressed, the body can activate what we call the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn hormones, which spike cortisol and adrenaline in the body. And research has shown that EFT can significantly reduce while supporting emotional balance and nervous system regulation, but also provide clarity to the next best step. A lot of people have really had those drop in aha moments for their next step, especially if they're in the middle of a transition or transformational stage of their life and their chapters closing and other chapters opening. They're kind of in the midst of everything. There's really no steady surface to or clarity on what the path looks like. So with this tap along, take the message of what resonates and leave the rest. What I do, though, is I invite people to take a moment and notice your body. It's funny, I'm looking at my dog, still made it in the in the filter. It's so funny. Take a moment and notice in your body what feels tight, heavy, stuck, or stiff. And if that means closing your eyes and tapping in and tuning into your body, that's totally fine. Noticing it where, if you're taking a moment here and taking a breath. If there's any tight, stuck, tense, tension, balls, knots that you're feeling, or even any emotions that you can discern. And if you notice them from 0 to 10, where would it be on the scale? You don't need to give the story about why it's their judgment, about why you have it. No overthinking, just noticing at this point, because it's really about you seeing how EFT can really shift you. And by tapping in or tuning into your body and noticing maybe your shoulders are really tense, or maybe your lower back is really bothering you, or maybe your knees are really bothering you. It's really just listening to the body so it doesn't have to scream at you, but also allowing you to see how EFT can so easily shift things for you as a tool. And I've been nudged by spirit to bring this forward, been certified in it like 10 years, but bring it back forward. And I like to do things, but I like to make them fun. And what's fun for me is crystals and oracle cards. So I kind of flow all that together in my own magic. So we're going to open up a crystal portal. So we're going to open, so you can have a crystal like mine, or you can even use your finger if you don't. And we're going to open a crystal portal on the ground with the intent that all the exhales that we take during this tapping, all of the energies that are discordant, dense, that are removing from our spaces, places, beings, are sent down this portal. And we're inviting our spirit team in, our ascended masters, ascended ancestors, our angelic team, our star families of light, all of our team and spirit of the highest light and resonance, to assist us with removing any dense, discordant energy that doesn't really serve us in our place or our space or our physical, mental, spiritual being. I keep thinking in my head, I need to get like a laminated photo so I can show you the auric bodies, letting you know that we're actually clearing with every breath, that we're clearing ourselves, but we also, with all the clearing work we're doing, we're clearing our lineage as well, 7 generations forwards and back. Scientists have finally figured out that epigenetics is a real thing. So as you move through this stuff out of you, you're actually helping your ancestors and those that come after you. So we're going to start on the karate chop point. Even though part of me keeps waiting until I feel completely ready or steady, I honor where I am and I remain open to trusting my next aligned step. And I love crystals. All the crystals I'm wearing right now have to do with my sun, moon, and rising signs. So I usually have that. Even though fear has sometimes sounded like preparation, I honor where I am and remain open to moving forward with courage and confidence. I felt that one deeply. I don't know how many of you like, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. The prepping is fear, really making you stay stuck or, safe instead of letting you move beyond that and do what you're here for. Even though I've forgotten the life that I am creating is meant to nourish me too. I honor where I am and I remain open to experiencing more joy along the way as we discuss the whole concept of retirement, right? Like instead of waiting until you're 65 to enjoy life, like enjoy life every single day now. Like what does that look like? How about that be our intent? How can we live every single day to the fullest, right? And then we're going to go to the eyebrow point. And this is like, if you feel your skull, there is actually 2 little divots in the skull there. It could be either hand. It doesn't matter if you're lefty or righty. Part of me keeps waiting for the perfect moment. Side of the eye. Part of me keeps wondering if I am really ready, and keep breathing. If I forget to cue you to breathe, breathe. If you notice your eyes are watery, your nose is running, if you sneeze, those are all forms of release. Yawning as well under the eye. Part of me worries if I'll be making the wrong decision. There's so much fear involved with the right and wrong decision. But also, if we think about it, everything that's meant for us is going to be ours inevitably. So we have these right and wrongs in our mind, but it's really just our mental mind. Part of me believes joy has to wait until everything is finished. Hence retirement, right? Like I'm done working my ass off for this corporate job for 65 years. Joy can wait until I'm finished. No, how about joy be every single day? Sometimes fear sounds like it's trying to protect me. And yes, that's what the ego, the mind has done to get you this far. It's really fear protecting you. The mind is fearful of the unknown. And right now, the whole world is in unknown, right? Like, why not be having fun while we're all unknown? I've been preparing for so long that I've forgotten that it's okay to begin. Even messy, right? We have such high standards of what we think things should look like. Sometimes it doesn't even matter. under the arm. I've been waiting for certainty instead of trusting myself. On top of the head, behind the crown, or on your entire crown. Keep breathing. Maybe I'm more ready than I've realized. So we're going to go into round 2, which is the reframe and integration. There's a method to my madness. I almost explained it a little bit or touched on it a little bit on the last podcast I was on. Eyebrow point. Maybe I'm more ready than I've been giving myself credit for. Perhaps I don't need to know every answer before I begin. And that reminds me of that what they're showing me is the puzzle pieces. Like you put down that step is a one puzzle piece and then more falls into place. So then you don't need to know everything. You just need to move on what you know and the other things will fall into place. Under the eye, maybe I already have the strength that I need for this next step. Strength, wisdom, knowing, capacity, maybe it's all there. Under the nose, maybe I don't have to wait till the finish line to experience joy. Maybe you don't have to wait till the end of the destination, hence retirement, to experience joy. Or like the majority of people who work 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, most of them only experience joy on Friday afternoon. And that's a really sad way to think, right? Chin. Maybe I can trust myself one step at a time. Yeah, like that puzzle piece analogy. As you take and trust yourself one step at a time, the next best step will fall into place because you're not alone. And we're going to go into that on the cards. Collarbone. And this is like where your collarbone nubs are all the way over to the bra strap. Maybe one aligned step that I take is enough for today. Under the arm. Keep breathing. Maybe I've been more supported than I realized. And I'm smiling because I know what cards came out. And if you stay to the end, you'll see. Going to go into that. Top of the head or crown. I'm open to moving forward with greater trust, courage, and confidence. Now, round 3 is affirmations are when you use the concept of affirmations, but in the form of a question to get your mind, your ego mind, busy on solving towards what you want. So maybe I am more ready for what I've not been giving myself enough credit for. And perhaps I don't need to know every answer before I begin. Under the eye, what if I already have the strength and the capacity and the knowing and the wisdom for this next step? Under the nose, and maybe it's safe for me to explore joy along the way. Maybe it is safe to experience and explore joy along the way. Why not? Makes life a lot more enjoyable, wouldn't it? Chin. What if taking one more aligned step changes everything? What if? What if taking one more aligned step changes everything? Collarbone. Perhaps I'm more supported than I realized. And I looked at the clock when I said that. It was 17:17. Under the arm. Maybe the life I'm creating is meant to nourish and fulfill me too. So many of us always put other people first and really don't take much for ourselves. But perhaps the life that we're meant to live is to be experienced with so much joy and fulfillment and nourishment for you because everybody else benefits from that. It's not something that's been taught, right? Top of the head. What if joy is part of the path and not something that I'm allowed to experience at the final destination? What if joy is something that you experience all along the way and not something you hold as a reward for after the final destination is reached? Take a deep breath and sending it down. Remember that portal is taking everything down that doesn't serve you from any of your body's places, spaces. We're going to go back to the eyebrow point. This is the empowerment and embodiment round. And I was asked what this means exactly. And because we're working through patterns and programs within the subconscious mind and we're tapping them in, puts it into the body. So I know that I am taking the best aligned step forward. Side of the eye. I stay focused on what I'm creating and where I am ready to go. And my dog over there making loud sounds. Under the eye, keep breathing. I move with commitment, confidence, and trust. I move with commitment, confidence, and trust. Under the nose, I welcome this season of expansion. I'm being shown the Eight of Wands, which is like a fast moving season of expansion. So it feels like it's going to be very fast and all at once. Chin. I choose positive, aligned action. I choose positive, aligned action on the chin, collarbone. I move forward with commitment, confidence, trust, knowing that the universe, source, divine creator of all that is aligning everything in my favor to show me how good it can be and how good it can get. Under the arm, I allow the life that I'm creating to nourish and fulfill me too. I have a Cheshire cat that it's a dog that's disappearing into the background. That's Honey. Like honey, but with an ah. My daughter named her. I think it has something to do with the anime character, but it's merely my daughter's dog, but she's taken ownership of me more than anyone. Top of the head. I trust myself, I honor my path, and I welcome joy along my way. Taking a deep breath. Sending it down. Then we end with the third eye. It is done. It is done. It is done. So be it. So it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Keep breathing. Sending every residual dense discordant energy down, asking our team and spirit that is of the highest light and resonance that are here to support us to remove anything from our places, spaces, field, and energetic being, physical being, down that portal. Inviting you to take a body check-in now, going with your eyes inward, determining that one spot that we noticed in the beginning. Where is it at now from 0 to 10, 10 being the most intense? Where did it shift? Did it move? Did it jump on the scale? I want to know all that below. If it shifted, if it moved, what feels different there? If it even is there anymore, I want to know all of that. I also want to know what number changed with that. If it was in your shoulders, if it was in your back. If you notice also me at the end of the video, from me in the beginning of the video, my eyes are wider and whiter. So it's visible, at least to me. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can tell. So if anything remains, allowing the guide, team and spirit, angelics, our ascended masters, ascended ancestors to go ahead and remove that. With one final breath, closing the portal with our crystal point. Feels like a nice meditative nap after I'm done tapping. Closing clockwise, thanking our guides, thanking our ascended masters, thanking our ascended ancestors, thanking all our angelics. I got Archangel Gabriel's necklace on here. This necklace is beautiful. Archangel Gabriel helps me speak clearly. Sometimes I get tongue-tied in these, allowing any and all residual energies that don't serve us down the portal to be taken away, to be dissolved, transmuted, transformed, having our angels take them back up to source, any discordant, dense, dissonant energy that doesn't serve our spaces, places, or being in its entirety to be taken up for healing and transmutation. And what would we rather have that energy turn into? How about peace, harmony, abundance with ease, bliss, joy, experiencing joy every single day instead of at retirement? Like whatever else, just put that in. Ask them to swap the dissonant energy for that instead. There you go. And so, like I said, this week's energy, like every single week, it's really kind of fun for me to see how the cards really convey the same message with so many different decks, which I love. And I think the angels love it too, because I call in my team and spirit to assist me with card pulling as well, just to make sure that it's the correct card. So the message was, you already have the inner strength, guidance, and support to move forward with the life you're creating. The invitation isn't really to become someone new. It's to trust and remember who you already are. So the invitation isn't to become someone new. It's to trust and remember who you already are. And so the cards, now that we can get to the card part, thank you for holding on, is, let's see if I can show you. 0808. 808. Those that know there is a big event on 808, the Lion's Gate. Totally caught my attention because this basically speaks to swift action, wealth, empathy, commitment, affection, inner strength, promises positive outcomes and entering a new phase of expansion. So this is a good thing, right? Like for everybody going to 808 Lionsgate up in Victoria, I'm excited to not only give you guys a bunch of hugs, but like this is a really good number. Invite us to stay focused on that. The divine source, creator, all that is zero is aligning in our favor. And it doesn't really mean like forcing life to happen. And I get that. Like we often battle between like having some control and letting go of complete control. It really means participating in what's already unfolding and witnessing the magic and the miracles in every single day. And sometimes we like wait for life to move before we move. But I'm being shown that the puzzle again. It's like take that step and allow the next step to fall into place in the next step. So maybe this week is really just inviting us to take the aligned step, that puzzle piece step, and then trust that what matters will reveal itself. So, what have you known that you're ready to begin? I know for me, what are you waiting to be more prepared to do? And then the next card is black onyx. I looked all over the place for black onyx. I think I have a black onyx bracelet, but I don't have it on right now. I don't believe this is a black onyx bracelet. I can't remember which one it is. It's black. I think it's kyanite. Yeah, I think it's kyanite, which usually I'm surprised to see it in a bead because kyanite comes in a shard point. So it's actually really breakable, kind of like selenite. So it asks us to stay focused and rooted in our inner strength and move in this season of expansion while purifying our thoughts. Mental aptitude encourages persistence, but also gives us a calming influence. It also is for self mastery, inner strength, focus, and it's specifically for the root chakra. So that's a good one for safety. And then these are kind of fun, and I was really excited to see Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is one of those ascended masters that typically has stood out to me for unconditional love, greater compassion, greater understanding. Compassion really begins with how we speak to ourselves. So how can we move forward without attacking ourselves or judging ourselves or putting all this pressure on ourselves along the way, and instead spark the joy and appreciation along the way, instead of attacking, judging, pressuring ourselves and belittling ourselves or being like a jerk to ourselves, because that's something that we had been conditioned to and raised to do as we were growing up, right? So we were the hardest on ourselves, but Kuan Yin just imbues unconditional love and compassion and overflows it to us. And she's one of my patrons. And I have a whole corner for Kuan Yin, and it's got a beautiful jade piece carved in Kuan Yin, a white jade, and then a whole bunch of flowers and plants around her. And then the next one was another one that I work really closely with, Mary, the Queen of Angels. She's one of the strongest messages of the week. And it's really don't be afraid. Trust your voice and your gifts. And sometimes the greatest thing is really standing between us and the next chapter really isn't the lack of guidance or opportunity of support all around us. And here's my throat. It's really the thoughts that we're battling with within us. Like it's not really that our angelics, our ascended masters, our higher selves aren't really trying to guide us. It's really the mind getting in the way with the fear. So sometimes it's conversation that we've been having with ourselves that really can throw a monkey wrench in our life and our path and our purpose here. And it's really the stories that we tell us and ourselves to wait, to prepare just a little bit more, that you're not ready. You're not, who are you? Why would you be special? Why would anybody listen to you? Like, you know what I mean? Those are the different thoughts that we have, those questions that we have that we kind of question ourselves with. We need a little bit more time. It's really like fear doesn't always have to sound like fear. And sometimes it's, I need to prepare more. Sometimes it's, I'm not ready. Sometimes it's like, I don't know, this is really scary or this is really big. Sometimes it just really disguises itself in other forms. So where has fear been disguising itself where you hadn't realized that it was there? Because Mary is telling us, don't be afraid. She's saying you were born for this. Mary is saying, trust your voice. She's saying, trust in your capacity to use and share your gifts. If you're feeling scared or unsure about the next step, this is just showing you how much you care about making a difference in someone else's life. So stand tall and stand with your light of your soul, as it's the only shield you need. I trust myself and my voice and my gifts, and I am unafraid. And then the next one is sweet surrender. That's like many of us become so busy building the lives that like the whole retirement. I'll see if I can get this card. The whole retirement concept, like building this life that you forget to enjoy this yourself along the way. So, what are you building the life for in the first place? For that final destination for you to experience the joy. It doesn't have to wait until everything has been completed. It doesn't have to wait for your to-do list to be done. It doesn't have to wait till you're 65 and you can enjoy your life. It could become a part of your journey every single day along your path. And how can you bring that in as a part of your innate nature? You know, how can you become that person that realizes that joy isn't something you have to earn? It's something you can experience every single day. And then the next one is solar light upgrades. Solar light upgrades. It reminds us that solar plexus specifically. So we have root chakra with the onyx, and we have solar plexus chakra with this one, solar light, inner fire, willpower. It reminds us that light, willpower, and courage that we're seeking is already within us, but it also allows us to realize that these solar waves and flares that are coming to the earth are really upgrading us in these areas and inviting us to focus on growth and expansion and DNA activation and things, and we're becoming more of who we innately were before we were messed with. So it's not like we're waiting for our power to arrive. It's that it's activating already, and it's already been here, and more is becoming more and more apparent and more online for each of us. So I was really excited about Mary Magdalene, or not Mary Magdalene, Mary Magdalene too, but Mother Mary, Queen of Angels, and Kuan Yin, because those are two that I work with along with Isis. Very similar feeling energetically, compassion. You can lay your worries down at their feet and be held completely. And they're there to support you and guide you, with every one of them having their unique innate virtues. And then the final one, which is why we brought up so much joy, was this one. Isn't this card beautiful? Discover what you love. Joy is the key to enlightenment. Joy is the key to enlightenment. Joy is the key to experiencing life. And what's calling me on this card specifically is the light coming down. This is a Merkaba, which is around each of us, right? We have a Merkaba, which is the up pyramid, the down pyramid, and it spins. Don't have a Merkaba at my desk. I do kind of, it's like spins around like this. Basically, I'm seeing that in the four directions here with this Merkaba. As we create the life we're building, the business we're building, supporting our families, growing spiritually, learning, preparing, and planning for what's next. Yet some of us forget that, and it's funny, this totally matches my outfit. Yet some of us forget that the life that we're meant to create is actually supposed to nourish and fulfill us along the way too. And so joy isn't something, like I said, with the whole retirement thing, joy isn't something you earn when you're done at the destination, whatever that destination is. It's not something you get to experience after your to-do list is completed. It is something that can become a part of your path every single day. How can you put joy into your life? Well, what do you love to do? Do you love to sing? Maybe sing every single day. Do you love to dance? Maybe dance every single day. You like to doodle? Doodle. Do you like to draw on the sidewalk with chalk? Do that. Do you like to talk to people and have conscious conversations? Do that. I do that quite a lot, and I love it. It's not just something we get to experience when we reach our final destination. It is something that we can experience all along the way. And the angels are throwing things now. And I don't know why, because I got my crown on. I just heard something like across the room. So if this week's energy report and EFT, I think they wanted to hit that home basically. If this week's EFT energy report and tap along resonated with you, I want you to tell me below your numbers, if it shifted and where, if it moved or whatever. So tell me your status of your numbers with the tapping that we did together. And I also want you to say this statement below. If you stay to the end, I welcome joy along my journey. I welcome joy along my journey. For those of you that are new here, if you want deeper clarity or personalized support, I would love to support you. All the information will be down in the description box below. I always want to say comment box below. Everything is down in this description box below. I offer sacred clarity sessions. Together, we can create space to determine like what hidden conditioning or patterns or programs that might be really holding you back, and then reconnect you to your most innate knowing to move forward and gain the clarity for your next step. And generally, I get a lot of people typically that hold space for others. I get healers, coaches, space holders, magical beings of all sorts. So I do get a lot of people. And then sometimes we pull out one of the many modalities like EFT, and sometimes we don't bring them out at all because it's not needed. So really, we just go with whatever feels aligned at the time. And then we just kind of move through that. Also, almost ready. I have my personal community called the Crystalline Rose Temple. Been hearing from the roses and the crystalline roses and the divine feminine energy for years now. So I'm creating a private community and it will be open to you all very soon. And all my links will be listed in the description when that space is open. And thank you for being here with me this entire time. And until next time, bye for now. Don't forget to drop everything in the comments.